Hey guys, welcome to our first tutorial on creating WordPress plugins. In this tutorial, we're going to create a plugin that will allow us to load new posts without refreshing the page. So kind of an infinite scroll blog page. So for that, we need to add a new plugin. And in order to do that, we're going to in order to do that, we need to create a new folder in the plugins folder, and we're going to name it Infinite Scroll Blog. And in this folder, for now, we're going to create just a PHP file called index.php. So just creating that folder is not going to do anything because WordPress doesn't know that this is a plugin until we add some information like plugin name, plugin description, and so on. So now that we added this information, WordPress is going to know that this is a plugin and it's already here. So we're going to activate it, and that worked, but that doesn't really do anything because there's no code here. So first of all, what is going to be done with this plugin? Basically, in the settings page here, area of the menu, we want to add a new entry where we can add a description for our blog and a way to choose what category or categories to have selected for our blog. So in order to do that, we're going to add option page here, and the option page is going to be called Infinite Blog Settings. It's going to have the capability manage options, and the function to define it is going to be Infinite Scroll Blog Option Page. So now that we have added that, we have already the menu entry, but our function is not defined. But we're going to get to that later. Now we wanted to add two settings here, one for the description and one for the categories. So we are going to use section render setting, and we have here the option group and the option name. Then we have add settings section, and we have here the ID and the title and the callback and the page. So you can see the link between these two, obviously. Yeah. So then we have add settings field, and we have blog description and blog categories. These are the IDs, the titles, the callback, the page, and the section. Right. So we have the two render functions that we need to define. And obviously we have the page option as well. So now you are here, yes. So, okay, now that we have created this function, we need to do the actual rendering for the blog description and the category. So basically our information is going to be stored in a variable called infinite scroll blog settings. And whenever we edit these options, we need to get that option so that we know we have it. So the description is going to be stored in a text area with the name Infinite Scroll Blog Settings. And this is the blog description. And we'll just echo the options blog description here. And for the categories, we're going to also get the options. And also we want to get all the categories with the function get categories with the arguments hide empty false. That's because we want to be able to see the empty categories as well here. And in this one we're just going to use a select, and maybe we'll use a multiple select. Yeah, select multiple name infinite scroll blog settings, and this is blog categories. Right, so in this select we want to display all our categories. So if we have any categories, for each category as cat short for categories, we are going to display an option. With the value, the category ID, term ID, and with the label the name. So now that we have this, for the actual categories we don't have a way to detect if they are selected. So if our current category ID, so if our term ID is in options blog categories, selected is going to be selected, else selected is empty. Right, and we're going to echo selected here. Okay, so now we are going to create the actual admin form here. So form action options.php method post, and in here we're going to put settings fields infinite scroll page infinite scroll plugin page. So, and we are going settings and do settings sections and also we are going to add a submit button. Okay, so we have a fatal error. Submit, yeah, submit. Only if I knew how to write submit. Okay, but we have infinite scroll blog setting callback is not. Here you can define the settings for your blog. Function. So now that we have created our code, we can go in the admin section and add the blog description. And choose the blog categories. Right. And this doesn't display well, so yes, because this is not an array. So okay, so okay. So we are done with the admin part of our plugin, and now we're going to create a short code to use in our blog page. So here in our blog page, we're going to add a short code. Actually, we're going to do it above so that it's more easily visible. So for that, we are going to add shortcode infinite scroll blog, infinite scroll blog callback. And this function is going to be our callback. Let's see how it works. Right, so this is my blog. Okay. So all of our output, we're going to put it in a string called final string, and we're going to initialize it empty. And we're going to use Ajax in this plugin, so we are going to define the plugin director URL, and we're going to enqueue a script and localize. We're going to use enqueue script and localize script so that we can use the Ajax object and Ajax URL. And our script is going to be script.js, and we're going to require jQuery to be loaded because we're going to use some jQuery. So let's create script.js. So right now we are going to get the options. Infinite scroll blog settings. and we are going to so our blog categories, we're going to initialize our categories with empty, but we're going to check if there is something in the options. So if size of options blog categories, then categories is going to be implode options blog categories. Okay, we want to display maybe 5 posts per page. Also, we want to know what page we are on, so loaded page is going to be ajax loaded page or 0, because we said we want to use ajax to load the pages, so we need to keep track. Now that we know the pages and the loaded page, we can also define the offset, so we know what posts to load. So offset is going to be loaded page times posts per page. And now we can get the posts with post arguments, and the arguments are going to be post per page, category, and offset for now. And we'll just use order by date descending. So, and now with these posts, we want to go through each them and display. So if we have any posts, then for each post we are going to add the actual post to the final string, but I think we are going to use a function here, load post with argument post, and we need to define this somewhere, and we're going to use a new file for that. So load post.php, and we're going to require once load post.php, and so in load post.php we're going to create a new function with blog post as argument, and here we'll have output as an empty string. We're going to put all our code in this file, in this variable for return, and output is going to be, we'll have div class blog post, and inside this div we'll have a featured image, and we'll have a post title, and post short content. And here we'll have get the post thumbnail, blog post ID, and here we'll have the title as an h2, and we'll link it to the actual post. And here we'll have the blog post title, and here we'll have as the ref we'll have the permalink. And as a short content, we'll get the first 256 characters. And we'll strip tags for the post content. Nothing is displayed because we did not return our output. Right, so actually this doesn't look that good, so we'll just add like this. So yeah. Okay, so now we loaded the first 5 posts, and this is basically the first page of our blog. We need to tell our plugin to load others, and for that we're going to add a new div here. Final string. We'll add load div. Load more posts. So whenever we click on this, we want to load more posts from the database. So in order to do that, we're going to put an on-click action on this, and a function load new post. Okay, so we need to go into our into our script file and define this function. And this is going to be function load new script. Actually, we need to know how many pages are loaded. We start with 0, and we need to know when our ajax is started, so that we can, disable the button so it won't get pressed several times. So if ajax is started, equals 0, then we can do all of our stuff here. And first we want to increase the number of pages. Then we'll go jQuery dot ajax, and in here we'll go, and the URL will be ajax object dot ajax URL. So this URL is the one we defined here, ajax object dot ajax URL, and it's admin ajax.php. So we have ajax object dot ajax URL. The type is going to be post, and the data will be action. Actually, we're going to just use the same function. There's no point in creating another one. So we'll use ajax infinite scroll blog callback. And we also want to tell ajax loaded page, so that we know what page is loaded. On success, we want a function with response, and we're going to add all the response before, let's see, we're going to add before load more posts. So all the information will be added here before this one. And also we want to reset the ajax started to 0, so that the button can be pressed again, and ajax started is 1. Okay. But in order to use this function as an ajax call, we need to add action wp ajax and also add action wp ajax no priv. So now it knows that it's going to be both for logged in users and not logged in users. If is post, because we are sending it via post, ajax loaded page, we are going to return the final string and use wp die, else we are going to return the string like this. Okay. However, we need to increase the page, because the loaded page, no, we added loaded page, yeah, we already added it. So let's see if this works. So we have the first 5 posts here. and this doesn't work, and it triggers ajax start. Yeah, start is not right. It's supposed to be started. Ajax started. And we're going to load more posts, and it returns 0 because it should be echo here. And then now it's loading more posts. So more posts, more posts, and now you see it doesn't load anything. So we need to add something to tell us that all the posts are loaded, and we're going to do that here, where if size of posts array is nothing else, we'll go final string div class no more posts, all posts are loaded. All posts are loaded, and obviously this needs to go. So we're going to go here, and after something like 3 seconds, and remove. After 5 seconds. But now we need to reload the page to refresh the JavaScript. All posts are loaded, and it goes away. So I think we're going to add the option to actually load posts when scrolling, and also we need to add a way for the post to fade in or load in a more appealing way, not just pop in like that, and also have another way to select between different templates, but we're going to do that next time.